Hey guys, how's it going? Good morning. Welcome to the Gospel of Two Wheels. I think what we're number 134, something like that. I really should look that up. But good to see you guys here. I know this is a weird day being Wednesday, so there's not probably going to be just a ton of us here. Um, Roger Hurd. I actually, it's funny you say that, but she actually did make me a cup of coffee while I was still in bed this morning, so it was awesome. I just making my second cup. Bruce Kennedy, good to see you. Chris Kinberg, good morning. Jimmy Neihart, aren't you on the road? Are you watching this, listening to this as you drive? If so, that is totally awesome. Chris Cooley, how's it going? Chris Kinberg, does castor oil separate in gas at colder temperatures? And do you know how cold? If so, I don't know. Actually, I don't know about that. I haven't. I've never run castor oil in my two-stroke, so I. Oh wait, hit things. So I don't know. Hey, Kenny, what's happening, man? So yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe someone else can answer that question if they've ever had that. Roger Hurd probably well has some experience. I don't know if he knows that answer, but he's run two strokes for much longer than I have. So, but what oil are you running, Chris, and why castor? Is that what I don't know? Maybe TM recommends it. I'm not sure. Chris Cooley, are Thursday night rides doable without a light right now? Yes, 100%. Because I'm not carrying a light. Well, yeah, I'm not carrying a light. I have a helmet light I could throw in my bag and be ready for it, but I haven't been. And my bike doesn't have a light on it since I'm running the chainsaw. So, uh, if you guys have heard the myth, well, it's not really a myth, but if you've heard the story that if Morgan has a light on his bike, you should be prepared to stay out very late. That is, that's relatively true, honestly. But right now, a bike doesn't have a light on it, so you can feel pretty safe about where we're going. Um, there we go. Roger Hurd says, "Don't run caster. Always H1R Bellray." So yeah, I run Motorex. H1R is obviously very good. Redline is good. Uh, what else? I'm sure. Well, Silkaline. I've run Silkaline in the past. It was good. But I've never run castor oil in my two strokes ever. Because back when I first got a YC250, it was Yamalube R. Jimmy Neihart. Yes, castor is bean oil. It smells amazing. The castor 927 or whatever is amazing. Amsoil, I like the Dominator. I don't like the Saber, which is what people put in their crap for 80 to 100 to 1 junk. I will come out and just call you out on that no matter what, in every way, whatever. There's no reason, there's no benefit, and there's only downsides to running 80 to 1 or 100 to 1 in your bike. There's nothing good about it. I guess the one thing, it might keep it cleaner, but only until it blows up. So, just run more oil and to be good. I have just actually, let's talk about that just a little bit. I have settled on 40 to 1 for all my bikes, the 125s and up to 300, because I don't want to mix multiple cans of gas because I've got all these freaking two strokes and I got kids burning a ton of gas. Now I got my wife burning gas on a KDX 200. So 40 to 1 is super duper safe for everything. So it's 40 to 1 has been, it's been great on the 125. It's been great on the 300 and all that stuff. So, and that's richer than I was running it. I was running it 50 to 1. But after talking to Kelsey at RK Tech and talking about how much, power and things like that, 40 to 1 is better. 32 to 1 really is probably better on the 125. But again, I don't want to mix multiple cans of gas. It's a pain in the butt. Bike Fault, coming in from Thailand, I think is where you're from. Hey, Morgan, I worked out why I didn't join last week. Logged in too early and wasn't aware you had started the live stream. Oh, right on. Well, cool. You're here now, Bike Fault. Awesome. I'm glad you made it. And Roger, yeah, Yamalube R is really good. I ran that in my YZ250 for a long time, and it was no problems at all. So guys, welcome to the Gospel of Two Wheels number 134, where the coffee's hot, the bikes are fast, and your comments are absolutely ridiculous. It is a Wednesday, which is a weird day to be having the Gospel of Two Wheels, but that is because tomorrow morning at 4:30 in the morning, I am heading north towards Nemo, South Dakota, to meet up with one Jimmy Neihart and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of you. I'm really excited. I think there's going to be over 50 people, including family members, wives, kids, all that. It's going to be a really big deal. I'm really, really excited. Yeah, we're going to have so much fun up in Nemo, South Dakota. So if you're watching this live or later, make sure you subscribe to the channel because there's going to be a ton of content coming out of that. Also, make sure you follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/Highland Cycles, Instagram @HighlandCycles, TikTok @HighlandCycles. Oh, yeah, we do TikToks. We're like almost 57,000 followers on that silly app, which is crazy. And yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. I cannot wait to meet all of you guys. I can't wait to meet Jimmy. There's lots of folks showing up that I've never met in person. I cannot wait. It's going to be awesome. Roger Hurd, I thought about actually doing the show live from the van. The problem is the service is super spotty. Bruce Kennedy, you recommended the M59 tire. Is there more than one version soft? No. Bruce, the M59 is a one and only. It's only a front tire, and it's only one size, and it is all you get. It's the best tire, period. All around, best tire. I've never run anything that works as predictably in every kind of terrain as the M59. Dave Kessler from Wayne National Forest, Ohio. Right on. How's it going? What are you doing up there? That's awesome. Hey, Fridays, what's happening, Elijah? You're in Colorado Springs. My kids are asleep, by the way, Elijah. Let's see, bike fault. I have a steering stabilizer on my KTM. Should I wind it in when I know I'm going to hit deep sand? Yeah, I mean, theoretically, yeah, that's, that you'd want a little more stabilization in sand. But the way I see it, I don't know. I have a steering. I have that little Showa suit. That thing, by the way, is so cool. I'm really happy with that Showa mount on the KTM. But I'm not probably ever going to click on it. I clicked it once after a practice lap at the race in Natarita because it was just a little bit nervous. So I clicked it a couple clicks in, and I never touched it again. And that's kind of how I roll with steering stabilizers. I get them set, and I just leave them alone. So. I mean, but bike vault, the answer to that question is yes. In theory, if you're going to be in deep sand, you should have a little more stabilization, a little more damping. Elijah, I will have fun in South Dakota. It's going to be awesome. Paul, Ansi, what's happening from the Great White North? How are you? Bruce Kennedy, that's easy then. I run the Golden Tire Fatty. Not good for the 690 on hard surfaces going. Oh, yeah. Bruce, I think you'll really, really like the M59. It's just a brilliant tire. Keith McQueen, what's the Night Rip shirt about? That's awesome. So thanks for asking. This is a gift from the people at Task Racing, who came out and rode with us. And the whole thing is that, they make lights for going out at night. And so going for a Night Rip. So back says Task Racing. And I really like, there's a lot of light options out there. If you want the coolest, cleanest, most Sano setup for a KTM, Moto Minded, hands down, right? If you want the most cost-effective and brightest setup, Task Racing. And Moto Minded makes it crazy bright, but Task, you can get like stupid bright stuff, and it's way less expensive. And it's also more universal. It'll fit on any bike. Moto Minded really only makes stuff for KTMs. But so anyway, I love it. Dave Kessler, working your way back home in Western New York. Okay, cool. Sweet. We'll get all checked up, Dave, and then come on back out west so we can see you. Jimmy Neihart, the M59 with the Moose is pretty sweet. Hate to admit, but better than tubes for me. Yes! Jimmy Neihart. So glad. Awesome, Paul. I'm glad you're loading up to go riding again. That is awesome. Yeah, I love it when people are going riding. By the way, actually, there's quite a few of you watching right now, considering it's a Wednesday and this is not our normal day. But if you're watching and you're having fun, hit the like button, which means you might have to back out of the chat, hit the thumbs up, and then come right back in. But I sure would appreciate it. It'd be awesome. Bruce, I think the Task Racing boys did have a good time. In fact, I know they had a great time. We had so much fun. We hung out at night, had barbecue. It was really great. Bridgestone ED11 for the front tire, Roger. I don't even know how that might not be easy to find anymore. I haven't looked for an ED11. I've run an ED11, by the way, in Mexico, and it is awesome. But the M59 is better up here in the woods and all that. So, yeah, I like it. Really, really good. Mike P, all 3 KTMs, M59. It's right. It's funny. All the bikes going to South Dakota have an M59 on it, except for my kids' KX100, because they don't make an M59 that size. They own, like, M59 only comes in an 80, 121. That's it. Hey, there's my mom. Everybody say hi to my mom, Suzanne Spradling. I love you, Mom. Yeah, barbecue, baby. It was awesome, Bruce. They actually made the barbecue. They had they got an Airbnb, and it was awesome. We had a big barbecue at their house, and it was great. Let's see. Keith McQueen, we're on topic. I have to wedge my M59 after 15 hours. Normal? Yes, Keith, that is normal. And here's the reason. So if you look at the chart, the Nitro Moose chart for an M59, the size, they say to go with an NM21 235, but that moose is like the most redonkulously too big size moose. You can get it in there. I've done it. You can squeeze the dumb thing in there. It's a fight. It's out of control. If you do that, you won't have to wedge, after 15 hours at all. But mounting it is terrible, and it rides like a rock for the first quite a while. And so I run with the NM21 220, which feels really good right off the bat and fits, and it's all that. But it gets it shrinks because they all do, and then I guess the M59 must be somewhere kind of in between size wise, carcass wise, for some things. But to me, I don't care because it works so good. Hey, there's what's up, Todd Rowe, Future Faith, saying hi to my mom. Let's see. Good morning from Gunnison, Colorado. What up? Hello, Dirt. Robert Swanson, howdy from Denver. Thanks for showing up in life. Found dirt biking last year at 48 and rolled Peach Valley last year and lots of other places in Colorado for a newbie. Love your info. Keep learning. Thanks, Robert. I really appreciate that. That means a lot, man. Thank you for saying those nice words. That really does mean a lot. That is the goal here, guys. All of you who've been around for a long time, you know what I'm all about. I just wanted people working on their bikes, keeping them running good, and out riding as much as humanly possible. So I try to do my best at that. I fall short sometimes for sure, but I do my best. So thank you so much. Jimmy Neihart, what's a sign that it needs a wedge? Yes, feel. When it starts to feel like a flat, you want to, if it starts to feel like it's too low on pressure, and you want to pump it up, throw a wedge in it. Jason Lash, John Road, nice squeeze. The 235 and N59 easily, surprisingly easy with the Rabiconda. Yeah, Jason, you can do. I mean, like I said, that's not, whatever. It's not impossible, especially on the front. When you get a moose that's too big for the rear tire, that's when it becomes a giant wrestling match. But I've also, here's one caveat or warning for those of you who don't know what caveat means. For shoehorning too large of a moose into a tire, and I'm not saying you guys did this, but I have seen people break the bead on the tire when they do that. They muscle the thing in there, right? They have their friends, and it's all these tire irons, and they get it done, right? And they don't notice that they break the bead, the cord's in the bead, and then that's the only time I've ever seen a moose fail on someone is when they do that, and then as the moose shrinks a little bit, and they go through a turn and it rolls and comes off the rim. It's pretty exciting. Bruce Kennedy, thank you so much. He said he absolutely felt the joy when Ruth was out riding with us. It was awesome. We had so much fun. If you guys haven't watched that video yet, you really should. It's not super exciting. We don't do anything crazy. There's no like gnarly single track or really fast stuff, but it was the most wonderful thing to get my wife back out on a dirt bike. It's been a really long time, and she's never really been into it. It started with me buying her a bike before we had kids and taking her out onto gnarly stuff, which wasn't gnarly, but for her, for a beginner, it was gnarly, and I couldn't understand it. And she crashed and was crying, and it was really, anyways, a horrible experience. So then we moved forward, whatever, and then she got pregnant, and so she wasn't going to be riding for a while, so we sold the bike, and that was a TTR 230. Then kid grew up, kid started doing stuff. Didn't really grow up anyway, but she was back in shape and whatever. So then I got her a WR 250 from a customer used deal. It was awesome bike, but she rode that. It was just too much bike at the time. And then and then she got pregnant again. So we sold that bike. And then when those boys started getting up and the younger or the older one started riding Osset, I found a 125 YZ for her. Well, for me, for her, whatever. For cheap, and she didn't like that because it was a 125 and you had to pin it. Kelly Larson, what's happening? And then I got her a TTR 125. Again, all these bikes came like the only one that I bought specifically for her was a TTR 230. All these other ones came through the shop, finding them for a good deal. And so the 125 was honestly perfect. It was perfect. But my idiot children, who I love to death, told her that she was too slow and gave her a hard time. And so she said, fine, I'm done. It's just like, I'm not riding. So that's been a while now. So she sees how much we ride and loves it and loves watching the kids race and all that. She's like, I think I might want to ride again. And fortunately, thanks to Robbie Noyles, we have the KDX 200. And we took her out and we had an absolute hoot. It was awesome. Roger Hurd, Mexico, KX 500 pavement equal. Yeah, melted moose. So yeah, moose is not good for high speed. Bruce Kennedy, lesson learned for the fathers out there. Get your daughters on a dirt bike and they won't get pregnant. That is perfect. Jimmy Neihart, dude, your parents must be rich. She's a 12 to your 4.25. No, Jimmy, you just didn't know me in college. I was quite a catch when I met her, and I tricked her into saying yes, marrying me when we were still young, and she didn't know how much of an idiot I was. Let's see. Smiley Hansen, Justin, how's it going, by the way? I run a 140 bib in a Desert IT. It's a fight, but lasts a long time. Yeah, like I like to try to put the biggest moose into the tire that I can without it being ridiculous. And you guys saw about choosing the tire, choosing the right moose and all that stuff. Keith McQueen, would the 125 be too much for her? I think the 125 would be too little for her in the torque world. The problem with 125s and people who aren't very good riders, and that's not a cut on Ruth. She's just new to it again. But is that you have to go fast and hold it wide open and to get any power out of it. And so I really don't think 125s are great for beginners. Unless they're like kids moving up. I mean, it makes sense, but it's just really hard to ride one, especially in the mountains. We're high elevation, all this stuff. So the KDX is absolutely perfect. But someday I'll put her on the 125 and see how she likes it. And Roger, she does love the hairdo. Mike Barnato, what's happening, man? Dude named Eric, does oversizing the moose get a little bit of extra life out of it? Yes, they do get better life, Eric, if you do that. Jason Lash, I'll have lots of Two Strokes Matter stickers at Nemo. Don't worry. Lots of stickers in general. Oh, and Keith, the E-Start would be good. Fortunately, she doesn't have a bad hip from kickstarting motorcycles and crashing motorcycles like I do. So no big deal to start the bike for her, fortunately. And the KDX starts so good, it's like not that big a deal. And just if anybody's wondering, if she absolutely loves the sport, you know, gets really into it with us, I'll buy her whatever she wants. Like, I don't care. We'll find the exact perfect bike for her with an E-Start and all that stuff, and we'll get it. But obviously, we don't want to spend. She doesn't want to spend a bunch of money until she knows for sure that she's really going to like it. But yeah, it was awesome time, guys. So if you haven't checked out that video, please do. It was really, really cool. Also, if you're watching and you haven't yet subscribed, please do it. Yeah, Keith McQueen bet at 200. Barnado CRF 230 wouldn't be terrible, but they're heavy as crap and they have no power. Paul Anstey, I like your answer the best so far. X-Trainer would be a really good idea. Dude named Eric, is the plan to camp in the van in Nemo? No, that is not the plan. We have a cabin up there that we're staying in. And also click like, yes, Eric. When my wife rode, I had to take it up all the hills. She was absolutely freaked out about flipping over backwards. Well, so that was the thing that we went out to the Adobes and went up some steep hills one time, and she did not like that. And Jimmy Neihart, absolutely not going to ruin a good thing. We're going to just be super mellow, because I had, and Mike Barnado, yeah, the 4-stroke thing. But I had to sit the boys down. Like, all right, guys, if you want mom to ride with us and have fun, then you have to keep your mouths shut about how slow we're going, and you have to be encouraging. And they did awesome. I was so proud of them. I don't know if you guys, if you've watched the video, she went over the tiny little rock thing. It's like the littlest rock thing ever, especially when you're seeing it on a video. And you know, the boys had already got off their bikes, and they were cheering for her. It was so cool. It was really cool. Roger, 250X lowered wouldn't be a bad idea. I've actually got one at the shop that's going to be for sale. The problem is it's pretty rough. I don't think I want that. Bruce Kennedy, yeah, they were totally cheering for her and giving her high five. It made me almost cry because it was so wonderful to see. It was really, really cool because she has been their biggest fan their whole lives. So it was awesome. Smiley Hansen, what do you recommend for my 10-year-old? She's on a CRF 100 now, but the suspension is crap. 85, Smiley. I know you're a 4-stroke guy. Well, no, you're not. You got a 2-stroke. What am I talking about? You love your YZ. I would get onto an 85/100. But if you, I mean, it depends. Like, it depends on how big she is, like tall wise. But I mean, 100 is good because it gets you further down the road to a full size bike. The 85 is good because it might fit her better now. Depending on the 85, you might be able to buy an 85 and then put big wheels on it. We actually have a customer like that. They have a TC 85 that we just did fork seals on, and they put big wheels on it, so it's a little bit bigger, and it's for his wife. But yeah, I can't stress enough how much I think it's a good idea to get a kid on a 2-stroke because, well, they're 2-strokes and they're awesome. But then also it teaches them clutch control and all that good stuff. And the bikes, especially when they're mini bikes, are, I mean, crazy amount lighter. So highly recommend an 85 or 100, something like that. KX 100, KX 85, YZ 85, whatever. Or if you throw a giant pile of money at it, you can buy a KTM or a Husky. But in mini bike world, I think there's zero reason to buy an Austrian mini bike unless you're racing, at the high level. So, yeah, Smiley Hansen. And the other thing I can say about 100 versus an 85, because my younger boy, he went straight from a 65 to the 100. And what I can say about that is that the 100 has more low end, especially in the KX world, because a KX85 doesn't have a power valve, but a KX100 does. It smooths out the power man. It is awesome. Smiley Hansen, YZ85, definitely recommend, and they are awesome. So, Rex Hammerschmidt, my better half loved her free ride when it came to Peach Valley. Not a super high speed bike, but it's great for beginner riders and is totally capable of anything and is good in an R. Yeah, Rex, those are good. I like the free rides just fine. If I were going to buy that style bike, I don't know even what that is. There's only 2 bikes in its class, and it's the free ride and the X Trainer. I like the X Trainer better, personally. Jimmy Neihart, you're hilarious. Hang on. Keith McQueen, 2022 KX112 seems super rad. Over square motor. Ooh, that's awesome. Yeah, I heard that was a thing. Was that you that commented on Facebook or something? I forget. But I heard they had a 112, which is going to be sweet. I'm excited to see that. Of course, my kids would be long gone, but whatever. Nemo Hurd, I'm from Jersey. He goes, I got a perfect cabin for you. It has a shack in its name. Oh, that is awesome, Jimmy Neihart. Is he? That's so great. Are you cabining or are you vanning? I saw you. I mean, you're driving your van, but I forget. I don't know. And hopefully you're like, who it would be if you're in the same cabin thing as us. Oh, man, guys, I cannot wait for Nemo, South Dakota. Oh, I cannot wait to get up there. It's going to be just so awesome. And when we get back, oh, crap, I forgot to announce. I'm glad we're talking about this. I got to pull up my calendar here real fast. The official dates for our Idaho Ride the World Series of Awesomenesses episode 3 is August 26th through the 30th. August 26th through the 30th. It's gonna be awesome. It is not a family friendly thing. Well, I mean, it's family friendly as far as like attitudes, but Idaho is for the NAR. I am not bringing my kids. They're going to be back in school. We're staying at Smiley Creek Lodge. I already have my RV site reserved. I'm going to be just staying in the van, but I want an RV site for plugins if I need it. Idaho is going to be awesome. So August 26th through the 30th, I will get more information up as soon as I can. But Smiley Creek Lodge, if you want to reserve a cabin or a tent site or an RV site, Smiley Creek Lodge, do it August 26th through the 30th. And that's 26th is a Thursday, we'll travel. And then the 30th is a Monday, which will be traveling home. So it's going to be awesome. Jason Lash, how many people are coming? I think it's going to be upwards of 50. Arlo Slab, what's happening? Bruce Kennedy, no, we are closing the shop down. Angry Zach and his wife, who is a new employee of Highland Cycles. She starts actually after Nemo. They are both coming. It's going to be awesome. Chris Cooley, that would be awesome if you help do dishes. We are, the feeding thing is going to be epic. It's going to be crazy, but I think we got her dialed. If anybody wants to help with that while we're there, that would be super rad. I know Lucas King is going to probably help, and his wife. It's going to be nuts, but I think we got it dialed. And huge thank you to Chris Abbott. Chris Abbott, thank you. He is the Mission Tortilla guy for Delta County, and he gave us an inordinate number of tortillas, both flour, corn, way enough for everybody. For free. Chris, thank you so much. You will all be enjoying that if you're with us. It's going to be awesome. We're going to have a ton of fun. Hanson, I can't wait for you to come up to Idaho. It's going to be awesome. Paul Anstey, make it happen, dude. I now have a hitch carrier for my van. I borrowed the one that was in the pictures on Facebook and all that stuff, but I have my own brand spanking new one showing up today. And it's going to be rad. So I'm going to be able to carry 4 bikes. So Paul, fly your butt down. Forget this whole Canadian Canuckistan crap. Fly down. I'll bring a bike up for you. We'll go ride. And then you could just not go back to Canada where there's socialist, communist pigs. Sorry. I had to say it. Arlo Slab. I have an 01 CR125 that has all stock jets and 51, but still seems to blow smoke and foul plugs. Arlo, I don't know. If you're, what elevation are you at? Also, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, let me know what elevation you're at. We can talk about that. I hope I'm not missing anybody. People are saying hi. I just saw David Gray. What's up? Keith McQueen. Yes, come out for breakfast burritos. Jimmy Nehart, bring the peanut butter tire iron. I'll scoop the meat with it. Yes. Ranchman, thank you for watching the videos. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, man. It means a lot. Smiley Hansen, booking lodge now. Yes, I love it. Arlo Slab. So 175 meters elevation should be stock jetting. You know, you could have a problem with your stator. I've seen stators cause plugs to foul because it's not sparking hot enough. So maybe check your resistances and outputs on your stator. Make sure it's making the juice it needs to make. Yeah, also Bruce Kennedy, sucking trans oil from the right seal. Also a good, if it's smoking, yeah, I didn't even think about that, Bruce. But like, if it's smoking like horribly, then tranny oil for sure. That's a thing. Paul Anstey, let's do it, dude. Let's do it. Let's make it happen. Only has 125 psi compression, or 100. That's too low. That is probably the problem. Timothy Bryson, liking the RSC. Awesome. Good deal, man. Ranchman, how long has your live stream been going? Well, today it started right around 8 o'clock, excuse me, 8 o'clock, 7:30. But this is number 134 of our live shows. So we do one every week. Sometimes we miss a week if we're on vacation or something like that. But that's why it's Wednesday, Ranchman. So if you're like, normally the show happens on Thursdays at 7:30 a.m. So this is a weird one because we're traveling tomorrow and we will be out of cell coverage and all that stuff. So I can't do it live from the van, unfortunately. I would, because it would be awesome. I'd have Ruth film me while I was trying. It'd be hilarious. Right on. It's 8 o'clock, guys. I'm going to shut this thing down right on 8 because I have a ton of work to do. We're dangerously close to having all the bikes ready for Nemo. I'm excited. I'm bringing 2 motorcycles for myself. So the 125 might make a debut out there in Nemo also. Yeah, it's going to be awesome. But I'm mainly going to be riding the 300 because I'm running the chainsaw because there's a ton of trees down there. So anyway, I love you guys so much. Punk Rock Club, thank you for sticking around to the end. I love you guys even more than everybody else. I'm just kidding. Oh man, I love this community. Mom, I love you so much. I hope you guys get out and spread the gospel of 2 wheels. And as always, you know what I'm going to say. I desperately hope that what we're doing here is inspiring you guys to work on and get out and ride your dirt bikes.